The City Council of the City of Gun Barrel City, Texas will meet in a regular meeting in City Hall, Council Chambers located at 1716 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas on Tuesday, September 26, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. Call to roll. We have the invocation. Ms. Key.
Heavenly Father, we ask that you be with us tonight, guide our thoughts, guide our words, and anything that was done in secret, bring it to the light. That we want transparency in this city. We want transparency in our government, and we accept that, and we're very thankful for it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
With the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We've got a roll call to my left.
Burns here.
Evans here.
Jacobs here.
Key here.
Foster here.
Got a quorum. I believe Janet's going to read the World Teachers' Day proclamation.
Sarita. Mayor proclamation for World Teachers' Day. Whereas Gun Barrel City's future strength depends on providing a high-quality education to all students, and whereas teachers spend countless hours preparing lesson plans and supporting students, whereas our teachers have demonstrated great resilience, adaptability, and creativity during the COVID-19 crisis, and whereas our community recognizes and supports its teachers in educating the children of this community. And whereas #TeachersCan is a statewide movement supported by more than 150 partnering businesses and organizations committed to elevating the teaching profession and honoring the critical role teachers play in the success of Texas. And now, therefore, the Gun Barrel City Council joins TeachersCan and its partnering entities across Texas in celebrating World Teachers' Day and proclaims October 5th, 2023 to be Gun Barrel City Teachers' Day. And be it further resolved that the City of Gun Barrel City Council encourages members of our community to be a light for Gun Barrel City teachers and personally express appreciation to our teachers and display a light blue ribbon outside your homes or businesses the week of October 5th as a symbol of support for our educators.
Thank you. Citizens' comments, limit to 3 minutes. The purpose of this item is to allow citizens an opportunity to address the City Council on items that are listed on the agenda or issues that are not listed on the agenda. Any person desiring to make a public comment must first sign in at the podium at least 10 minutes prior to the start of the meeting and be recognized by the presiding officer. Individual citizen comments are limited to 3 minutes. The presiding officer may ask the citizen to hold their comment on any agenda item until that agenda item is discussed. The City Council has no obligation to respond in any manner to comments or questions from the public. Any response from a member of the City Council to a non-agenda comment is limited to a statement of specific facts, information, a receipt of existing policy, or a direction to staff for follow-up. We've got quite a few today. We've got Casey Day from Gun Barrel Quilter's Guide. Would you like to speak now?
Good evening. Thank you for having us. We're here once again, hat in hand, begging for money to put on our annual quilt show. We have been holding it in Gun Barrel City since 2015 with the wonderful assistance of the City Council and at times the EDC. We think it's a wonderful event, family-friendly, the very kind of thing we would like to see more of in Gun Barrel City. We have the show on the last Friday and Saturday of April every year. Because of your assistance, we've been able to, we've not been forced to charge admission the way most quilt shows are, but we feel like it's a better service to our community. We can invite our nursing homes, we can invite daycare centers, and we can make it an event that's available to everyone. We raffle a quilt every year, and that money goes to local charities, Maybank Fire Department, GBC Fire Department, East Texas Food Bank, Friends of the Animals, the usual suspects. But we like for our money to stay here. We have also started making quilts for some of our 501c3 friends because they can raffle a quilt and get more money than what we would be able to give them in a donation. So it's a win-win for everybody concerned. I don't know, you guys, have you been to our show? Do you have any questions?
No. It's a great show. It really is.
I'm very glad, and I would recommend that you take a few minutes and stop by and see it. It's really fun, and we're really proud of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What is the amount that you're asking?
For the last few years, we've been given $5,000. It basically subsidizes our venue so that we can cover the rest of the expenses.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Ty Thomas, or Thompson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm addressing you tonight to introduce my company, Creative Relic, to the area and highlight our potential as a valuable creative partner for future initiatives with the city as well as city residents. Allow me to present Creative Relic as a versatile, full-service creative agency. We offer a wide range of services that include web development, custom printing, apparel decoration to include screen printing, as well as a full-service embroidery. We also specialize in digital marketing, signage, banners, promotional items. One of the services that is not highly recognized that we do offer is we have an extreme specialization in ADA compliance for digital properties. Websites. That's a major issue around municipalities. Given the current budget season for municipalities, I believe it's an opportune time to acquaint those of you who may not be familiar with Creative Relic or Creative Relic services. Over the 20 years of industry experience, we've successfully collaborated with numerous large corporations, municipalities, small businesses, and we've delivered excellent results. We have a long list of references that are available at any given time. Furthermore, we take pride in our membership in the various reputable purchasing organizations to include Buy Board, Public Purchase, Smart Buy, among others. These affiliations are a testament to our commitment to meet the unique needs and the procurement processes of our public sector clients. I'd also like to announce that Creative Relic will be relocating to Gun Barrel City in early October of 2023. We'll be moving a portion of our operations to Gun Barrel. It'll be 720 West Main. We're excited about this move, and we hope to garner support from both the city as well as its residents as an integral part of the Gun Barrel city community. In conclusion, Creative Relic is opposed to take on any creative projects that your esteemed council or city may require. We eagerly anticipate the opportunity to contribute our expertise to the continued success and growth of our community. I'd like to thank you all for your valuable time and consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kate Weller, do you want to speak now or later? Okay.
I'm Kate Weller, and I'm here tonight in my capacity as Chair of Planning and Zoning. I did this at our last meeting, but I wanted to do it publicly. I want to thank Shelley Coleman for her valuable service to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Shelley decided, because she is now taking her expertise to the Parks Board, that she would not reapply to Planning and Zoning. We will miss her. Shelley was always well-prepared, great questions, great additions to the commission, and we will miss her. Our loss is the Parks Board gain. I just wanted to publicly thank her at a larger audience as opposed to a smaller one, which was at the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Lana Aarons.
Thank you. I'm here to speak on the ordinance about the public information request. This ordinance is poorly written. It appears as though it's intended to confuse the people about their rights and responsibilities under the Public Information Act. I personally drafted 11 complaints for violations of the Act in the last few months. I expect we should have some answers to these complaints in the coming month. So far, I've received or been provided an opportunity to inspect information only after filing complaints with the AG, which tells me that without admitting fault, the city staff recognize that they are in violation of the law. The Public Information Act and Open Meetings Act are essential tools for transparency and building trust between we, the people, and our government. They helped us save the pavilion. They exposed spending of mostly tax dollars in excess of $170,000 a year on July Fest. I'm still waiting on city compliance with the rest of this information. They provided proof that the city chief, or the police chief, knew I was right about the animal numbers and attempted to gaslight me. I filed a formal complaint with evidence about numbers being way off on monthly logs, and this was the response I got from the police chief, quote, "We found the total animals impounded was off by a count of 1. This presents as a clerical error by a human being and not intentionally false reporting. However, his email to city staff and officials, found only through a Public Information Act, stated it was 228 animals, not 227. 261 complaints, not 333. 23 citations, not 18. 53 warnings, not 26. 2 animal abuse cases, not 1. And there were also monthly reports with boxes blank, requiring us to look up stats. That doesn't sound like 1 to me. With nearly half of the public information requests I file, I find lies and cover-ups. I'm tired of being lied to. I filed a request for phone records from one person for a span of 4 months, was sent an invoice for 4 hours of labor, $75 in charges. Not only is this not allowed to charge labor for less than 50 pages, it was 35, per section 552.261, but even if you were, 4 hours is excessive and punitive. How is this going to compute into cumulative hours for public information? Also, when I ask for 1 page and I'm supplied with 10 to 15 pages of emails and faxes, is this going to come out of my time? I asked for a document that should have taken no more than 3 minutes to retrieve. Are you going to say it took an hour? I asked to view a copy of a public information request that was filed by a staff member at no cost to them and required no extra time to gather documents for me, but I was charged for an hour of labor. Additionally, I want to remind you that an email from Clint Davis, Henderson County attorney, that y'all shared on Facebook, he stated, "My attitude and approach changes when I have a governmental entity that is believed is intentionally thwarting the public from getting information it is allowed to obtain. If I find this is the case, I have no problem initiating criminal charges. Tabling this ordinance would allow time
Chair Thompson.
Thank you. Thank you, Lana. We have Debbie DeLeon.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you.
Good evening, Debbie De Leon, 179 Autumnwood Trail in Gun Barrel. Greetings, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, honorable council members, and Gun Barrel City residents. It is my pleasure to come before you tonight to introduce myself as a candidate to complete the 6-month unexpired term for mayor of Gun Barrel City. I am Debbie De Leon, and I offer Gun Barrel City residents an opportunity.
Wait, I'm sorry. What? Oh, we can't talk about campaigns?
Nope.
Okay. Huh. Well, I guess you can just introduce yourself.
All right,
Talk about your life, maybe.
let me try and change this a little bit then. I am Debbie De Leon, and I am very interested in my local community. I have a lot of experience where I'm a 25-year state employee where I've worked in both public education and human services. I have served 13 years as an elected county commissioner, where part of my legacy was creating the first county commission to give young people an opportunity to learn and get involved in their community government while also developing tomorrow's leaders by having them advise the county board on issues that affected them. I was also elected and served 2 years as the vice chair to my tribe. I have also served as a special assistant to the mayor of a capital city and legislative assistant to 3 different state reps. In addition to serving on numerous boards and commissions, such as the Convention and Visitors Bureau, Fire Board, and Local Emergency Planning Committee, I most recently worked as a HR hiring specialist with responsibility for multiple departments that include public services with several divisions, the police department, IT, neighborhood development, and the mayor's staff. All highly technical positions that required me to know what degrees, certifications, skills, and experiences were required for each position. I was responsible for the entire process from beginning to end, including testing, interviewing, and negotiating their starting salary and hire date. Anyway, I say all this to show that I have a very diverse background, and I'm willing to share what I have learned through my many years of experience. Finally, I did want to share that I had absolutely no intentions of ever getting involved to this degree again, because I literally retired 3 times, and I was hoping to enjoy my retirement. So anyway, I apologize from where I came. Public comment included introducing myself, etc. So thank you for your time.
Okay, we have the consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agendas are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussion on these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Consider approving the following reports: Code Enforcement, Court, EDC August minutes, Fire, Interim City Manager Report, Permits and Inspections, Streets and Park Maintenance. Do you have a motion?
Key moves that the consent agenda be accepted as written.
Evans seconds. Do I have a motion for my left?
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Key, yes.
Walsh, yes.
And motion passes. Discuss and or take action to approve the annual physical report for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2022, 2021-2022 audit. Go ahead.
Good evening.
I'm Brian Thomas with YWRD PC, CPA firm out of Ennis in Waxahachie, Texas. We did the 2022 audit for the city this year. So we'll get started on page 1. And this is just the auditor's opinion, and it's the very first paragraph. And we just state that the financial statements are materially correct. And then we'll skip down to page 12, and we'll just point out a couple of things, highlights for the city. So, page 12 is the governmental funds balance sheet, and that first column called general is the general fund. And then about halfway down the page, there's a line item called unassigned, which represents unassigned fund balance as of 9/30/2022, and that is about $5 million of unassigned fund balance, which represents approximately 9 months of expenses. So. The next section of the report are the notes to the financials. It just provides extra detail to the balances that you see on the face of the financial statements. But we'll skip all the way down to page 47, and this is the general funds budget versus actual. In here, we just like to point out you have your original budget, your final budget, and then the second to last column is the actual budget basis numbers at the end of the year. So you had excess revenues of approximately $1.3 million, and then you were under budget on your expenses by about $720,000, representing approximately a $2 million positive variance from actual to budget. The remaining part is just required supplementary schedules by governmental accounting standards, and then a supplementary information for the individual special revenue funds of the city. So, are there any questions or comments about this report?
Okay, you said the 9 months, was that for how long we could go?
Yes.
Something happened?
Yeah, if the city didn't make any revenue for 9 months, they would still be able to stay afloat.
Okay, that's what I thought. Don't have any questions? You have any questions? There's no questions, and I'll receive a motion to accept the audit.
I move that we approve the annual financial report for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2022.
Evans seconds. We have a motion and a second to accept the annual financial report for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2022. Vote from my left.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Yes.
Boss, yes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Discuss and or take action to confirm the basis for design of the ARPA, Multi-Purpose Community Center, as listed in attachment. Mr. Mundo?
Good evening, Council. The, excuse me, the basis for design that we propose for your community center is as discussed in the workshop and can generally be described as an 80-foot wide by 70-foot deep pre-engineered steel building with masonry accents. It would have an activities court in the center that would nominally be nominally the court itself, I believe, is 55 feet long by what I think was 30 feet wide. We're looking at meeting space nominally 55 lineal feet, 20 feet wide of meeting space that we can partition off into different shapes or sizes, or we can peel off a 15-foot by 20-foot portion of that for a technical computer room, secured, fixed-walled computer room. We have a reception area with a controlled dispersing of activity equipment for the activity court. We have about a 20 by 20 kitchen area, non-commercial, with storage plenty of storage space, and then 2 20 by 20 bays for male, female restroom, shower, locker facilities, option for outside patio, for grilling and just open access. Parking to support that facility. The roof line or the front elevation would be split between a high center bay, 40 feet wide, with a 23-foot high clear space. So we'd have a very high roof line, and then 2 lower, nominally 11, 12-foot height roof lines on either side. Colors and all of that detail to be determined during the design.
Do I have any questions or comments?
Just for clarification, this is phase 2 of your overall proposal.
That's correct, right? And this is the first monthly step in phase 2. That's right. It will come back with refinements as you all discussed today. We'll come back incrementally with those, and really we'll send them in as we have them so that the city manager can disperse those to you all, and then I'll be available for whatever meetings you wish along the way.
Do I have a motion to accept his design?
I move to confirm the basis for the design of the ARPA Multipurpose Community Center as presented in the attachments.
Key seconds.
I have a motion and a second to confirm the basis for design on the multipurpose community center. A vote from my left.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Key, yes.
Foster, yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mundo, I would just like to thank you for answering all of my questions.
Well, that's all right. Many of them I have for myself before I get here. It's okay.
Discuss and or take action to consider approving a contract with the Humane Society of Cedar Creek Lake for animal shelter services. Well, we just had a workshop on this. Do you have any comments?
I'd like to state that we do exercise the right to either party can terminate the contract within 30 days of written notice instead of 60. Again, we would try to accommodate 60, but I would like 30 better.
I agree.
So you want that changed in the contract?
Correct. We did email her, and she said that was fine.
Okay, you want to make a motion to that effect?
Great.
Any other discussion? I don't know.
Anyone have a discussion?
No, I agree with what April's proposing.
Okay.
Then I make a motion to consider approving the contract with the Humane Society of Cedar Creek Lake for animal shelter services with the amendment that either party can terminate the contract within 30 days of written notice to the other party, delivered either by U.S. mail or email to the city or Lynette Ainsworth.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Vote from my left.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Key, yes.
Foster, yes.
Motion passes. Discuss and or take action to name an official newspaper for 2023 to 2024 fiscal year.
Are we sticking with the Monitor?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, that's the one, I think, the only one in town.
Yeah, so currently we are with the Monitor. Each year, the city council must declare an official newspaper. In the past, we've gone with both the Monitor and Athens Daily Review. So it's up to you all to decide.
Well, I'd like to stay at the Monitor myself.
I agree.
Do you have a motion to stay at the Monitor as the official newspaper?
I move to take action to name the Monitor as our official newspaper for the 23-24 fiscal year.
Key, second.
Got a motion and a second to make the Monitor the official newspaper for 2023-2024 fiscal year. Vote from the left.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Key, yes.
Voss, yes.
Motion passes. Discuss and or take action to adopt ordinance number 2023-017, fixing the rate and tax levy for the 2023-2024 fiscal year.
I make a motion that we adopt ordinance number O-2023-017, fixing the rate and tax levy for the 23-24 fiscal year.
Burns, second.
Got a motion and a second to take action to adopt ordinance 2023-017, fixing the rate and tax levy for 2023-2024 fiscal year. Ordinance O-2023-017, an ordinance fixing the rate and tax levy for the city of Gun Barrel City, Texas for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2023 and ending September 30th, 2024 of the city of Gun Barrel City, Texas, in conformity with the laws of the state of Texas and the ordinances of said city, repealing all ordinance or part of the ordinance in conflict herewithin.
Does that mean it's at zero?
Yes. It's zero.
I just want to make sure all that verbiage meant zero.
It is. So I had a motion and a second. Okay. Okay, discuss and or take action to approve a job description.
Need to vote.
Oh, we did. I thought we did. Okay, vote from left.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Key, yes.
Voss, yes.
Motion passes to accept ordinance number 2023-017, fixing the rate and tax levy for 2023-2024 fiscal year. Okay. Discuss and or take action to approve a job description for CID lieutenant. Anyone have any comments on this?
First, let me kind of give you a little rundown about what's going on with the police department right this minute, okay? I'm currently the captain, acting as chief. I don't have anybody in criminal investigation at this time. My admin sergeant has been out on medical leave for 2 weeks. She's back now working 2 to 3 maybe hours a week. I'm 5 positions short in the department.
Oh, wow.
I've got 3 people that are on light duty right now with the department. I've got 1 in training, and I've got 1 dispatcher that I'm short, okay? I'm run thin with animal control and everything else we got going on at the police department right now, trying to keep everything going, keeping the investigations going. I came in and asked to upgrade the CID sergeant position to a lieutenant position so I could increase the funding, so I could get somebody in here that's got experience, that can handle any case that comes up. I've got a man in mind that has agreed that he would come. Only problem is I've got to get the money to where I'm asking, which would be the same pay as the captain spot, okay? And that extra money would be for assignment pay for the CID. That lieutenant is going to be over criminal investigation, patrol, sex offender registration, the evidence room. The captain is going to be over everything on the dispatch, record retention, open records, administrative investigations. We've got 1 officer that was just terminated on an internal investigation that we were looking at criminal charges. Those 2's got to be separated. We can't have 1 person doing an internal investigation and doing a criminal investigation. So the captain handles all internal investigations, everything. CID is going to handle all the criminal side. So that's why I'm asking for this lieutenant position to be enacted, so we can get somebody in here for this department other than me that can handle anything else that happens. If I'm on vacation, there's nobody here. We have nobody on staff that can work some of these cases that are coming in.
I have a question. Is it my understanding that the special funding that we had for the child, I can't remember the name of it, that
Henderson County Crimes Against Children Task Force.
Yes.
That has been eliminated from my budget, and I asked for some of that to go towards this lieutenant position. That's $50,000 that came back from not being in that task force.
So we do have that available to,
That money has gone back into the budget, not in my budget, back into the city's budget.
What approximately additional would be needed for this position, Keith? How much more you ask were you needing? Did you mention 5,000 or something like that?
I don't think it's that much.
I don't recall.
don't open the light.
Because it came in, I believe, at 31, and I'm
This is-
asking for it to be moved to 32.
This is a job description that's on here to be a 31. There's nothing having it to be moved to a 32.
Well, in February of 2022, at that time, city manager came back to us and wanted us to make the captain the operational commander, and if the chief was out, then this person would step in and take that place. And then over here on your lieutenant, it says assumes command of the police department. And I thought that's what we accepted as a captain operational commander. So it looks like those two overlap. And we've already given the authority for the captain to have authority over everything if the chief is gone. And now I'm afraid it would interfere with this lieutenant position.
Is there a conflict there, or what? Can you?
There's not a conflict there. But the problem is there's nobody there that can take over everything that happens if the chief's not here. That's the problem I've got. That's why I'm trying to hire this position in at the money where it's at. The person that's looking at this was a captain over a major criminal investigation division somewhere else. He's currently a chief somewhere else, and he's in the process of leaving that job to come to work over here.
Could you make him a captain now?
No.
Could you offer him the captain position?
No.
So I have a question. If, say you become chief, in that captain position, you fill the captain position, then you'd have a CID position as well, correct? Or could have, is that correct?
It'd be a CID lieutenant, and then I'll have an investigator spot. So there'll be two people that are actually working investigations. One person can't cover the amount of cases that are coming through this department.
But I was just trying to look at what she was trying to say, which I don't know, about where the captain's already assuming the duties of the chief, and now you're saying the CID is assuming the same thing. So I was just thinking, if you had both, the captain and a CID lieutenant, who would assume the position?
I rewrote the lieutenant, the CID lieutenant spot and the captain spot. I think
The
I
captain
sent those
spot's not on, it wasn't on the agenda. This was just for a lieutenant position,
Yeah.
to add the position, yes.
a job description
Yes.
for it. We didn't put on the agenda to change the captain job description.
Yeah, and this is not to add a person. This is just to reclassify from the sergeant position to the lieutenant position.
This is just to approve the job description. That's all this is.
Oh,
Well, then, if we approve this and we have to come back and change the captain's position or responsibilities,
Would we be approving captain responsibilities based on the person that's going to be in that position?
no.
So why would you change the captain position?
Because right this minute, there's nobody there to fill that captain's position. So I've got to have somebody that can cover the CID side, and I got to have somebody that can cover all the rest of it. I can't do all of it, and that's what I'm doing right now.
I know, but I don't understand why we're changing the captain job description.
But if this lieutenant position doesn't happen, we're not going to change the captain position.
So why would you if it happened?
I think it's because he was saying that it assumes the command of the police at the direction of the police, chief of police. So they kind of both say that's my understanding is what he's saying.
Yes,
captain
the
and
lieutenant will cover everything on the criminal side as far as CID, patrol, all of that. The captain spot's going to cover everything on the internal side, internal investigations, records division, all of our weekly, monthly, and yearly reporting for state and federal stuff that we have to do, grants, anything related to that, that's going to be coming through the captain spot.
Right.
Open records, because around this city, that's a full-time job with some of them that are doing them. So, I mean, it's,
I appreciate the leadership you're trying to provide here, and and prefer to leave some of these questions to you and what you bring to us. And I would go ahead and move to approve a job description for a CID lieutenant.
Go ahead.
Jacob, second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the job description for CID lieutenant. Got a vote from my left.
Burns, yes.
Evans, no.
Jacobs, yes.
Key, yes.
Foster, yes.
Motion passes.
Council, this is at a 31. It is not at a 32.
I know.
I think the concern was the fact that I think the current captain position states that he takes the command of the police department at the direction of the police chief, and so does this contract. So they both say, so how do they both take command is what I think the
But this is
question
a 31, not a 32. The captain is a 32
Yeah.
So the captain would be,
until that's changed.
Right. I think that's just what her concern was.
Well, that's not what you're asking for now, though, is it? I'm a little confused on that.
That's not what the job description said. What was approved in the budget was the lieutenant at a 31. What the job description says, he had it at a 32, but what was approved was a 31. We would have to go back and make a budget adjustment to change it to a 32.
Okay?
But the one we're looking at now still says 31.
Yeah.
Is that,
Okay.
Okay. Discuss and/or take action to adopt ordinance number 23-0116, establishing a responsible limit of amount of time personnel of the governmental body are required to spend producing public information for inspection or duplication to a requester. Ordinance number 20-23-016. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Gun Barrel City, Texas, establishing a charge and requiring prior payment before the city responds to certain requests for the production of public information or for copies of public information in accordance with and pursuant to Chapter 552.275 of the Texas Government Code, establishing a reasonable limit on the amount of time personnel of the governmental body are required to spend producing public information for inspection or duplication to a requester and/or provide copies of public information to a requester, establishing costs to be paid by the public for a request that exceeds the reasonable limit, providing a severability clause, and providing an effective date. Do you have any questions?
assuming our city attorney has drafted this?
Yes.
Correct.
And it's from the Open Meetings Act.
Key moves that we accept and adopt the ordinance O-2023-016.
Burns, second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 0-2023-016, establishing a reasonable limit on the amount of time personnel of the governmental body are required to spend on producing public information for inspection or duplication to a requester. Vote from the left.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Key, yes.
Ross, yes.
Motion passes. Discuss and or take action to adopt ordinance number 0-2023-015, amending section 155-22 of the Gun Barrel City Code of Ordinance, providing regulations concerning review and approval of minor plats. Ordinance number O-2023-015, An ordinance by the City Council for the City of Gun Barrel City, Texas, amending Section 155-22 of the Gun Barrel City Code of Ordinance, providing regulations concerning review and approval of minor plats, providing a severability clause, and providing an effective date.
Question, what is a minor plat?
Kate?
Minor,
Correct me if I'm wrong. Minor plat is generally defined as a plat of 4 lots or fewer. What this ordinance would do is streamline the process for citizens. It would not affect commercial plattings or anything for which the commission would see a site plan. A scenario works like this. Someone wants to plat 2 lots into 1 because they want to build a bigger house than would be allowed on either of the single plats. So they have to fill out the paperwork and file it in time with the city that it gets on the planning and zoning agenda, which is the second Monday of every month. And I believe that the time frame is 7 days before the meeting. 20 days before the meeting. Oh, okay. My mistake, April, I'm sorry. 20 days before. That's, if you're filing 20 days before, that's almost 3 weeks before planning and zoning meets. After planning and zoning approves a recommendation for the plat to be approved by council, that's an additional 2 weeks between planning and zoning. So we are now looking at a time frame of about 5 weeks for a basic replat to be approved. If the resident would miss the 20 days before, say, the September meeting, that would be pushed to the October meeting. So now you've added 4 more weeks to the 5 weeks you already have, and the resident is at 9 weeks. This change was approved by the legislature a couple of sessions ago, we believe, and we just never implemented it. Athens has been doing it for some time, and it's a win for us, the city. It's a win for the residents. It considerably shortens the time and facilitates people being able to do simple things. Anything complicated would still come to planning and zoning. So I am totally in support of this. I view it as a win-win, and I hope you will too. Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Nope.
And you will notice, just coincidentally, tonight, the next thing you'll be looking at planning and zonings are basically minor platting, which would not come to you if this is implemented. So it just streamlines the process for residents, and that's something we always want to do.
Will P&Z continue to review them, though, Kate?
Excuse me?
Will P&Z?
No.
Nobody reviews them?
They will fulfill all the requirements of platting, and once that is done and it is reviewed by the city staff, then whoever the city designates, it could be the secretary, it could be the, I've just lost the term.
City planner.
Building.
City planner, thank you, could approve it, and then it would be immediately in effect. It wouldn't come to us. As an added bonus for the city, it would eliminate and I probably shouldn't tout this, but it would eliminate the commission meetings that are 5 or 6 minutes long, because we're just doing approval for recommendation of minor platting. And then you have city staff that doesn't have to stay. You don't have to keep the city building open. It's just a win-win. And as I said, if there's anything that isn't just routine, it would still follow the old procedure. But this is, like I say, this is a win-win.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you, Kate. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we adopt ordinance number O-2023-015, amending section 155.22 of the Gun Barrel City Code of Ordinances, providing regulations concerning review and approval of minor replats.
Evans seconds. Got a motion and a second. Vote from my left.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Key, yes.
Lost, yes.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, we've got a public hearing. Is anyone here to speak on replat of lots 305 and 306 in Loon Bay? Okay, public hearing's closed. Discuss and or take action to consider approving the replatting of lots 305 and 306 in the Loon Bay subdivision belonging to Ricardo Corsanero and physically located at 122 Loon Bay Drive, Gun Barrel City, Texas, into one lot, Lot 305R. Anyone have any questions on this?
No?
Need a motion?
I move to consider the replatting of lots 305 and 306 in Loon Bay subdivision into one lot, Lot 305R.
Evans seconds. We got a motion and a second. Vote from my left.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Key, yes.
Lost, yes.
Motion passes. We have an open public hearing on a replat, request for a final plat of Tract 13A and part of Tract 13 according to the abstract 483B Metro Survey belonging to Brookshire Grocery Company physically located at 915 West Main Street, Texas, into one lot, Lot 1. Do we have anyone here to speak on the Brookshire Grocery?
I'm Irma Maves with Brookshire's Grocery Company. I'm the Architectural Services Manager there. And so if there's anything, questions or things you need on it, I will be happy to answer them.
Does anyone have any questions?
Nope.
We saw the schematic, I believe, in our packet,
Yeah.
the layout of what this is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
When do you break ground?
Technically in November.
Wow.
Coming up.
Okay, we can close the public hearing if there's no more comments. Discuss and or take action to consider the final plat of Tract 13A and part of Tract 13 according to the abstract 483B Metro Survey belonging to Brookshire Grocery Company physically located at 915 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas, into one lot, Lot 1. Do you have a motion or any discussion?
I make a motion that we approve the final plat of Tract 13A and part of Tract 13 according to the abstract 483B Metro Survey belonging to Brookshire's physically located at 915 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas, into Lot 1.
Evans seconds. We've got a motion and a second. Vote from the left.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Key, yes.
Lost, yes.
We've got a motion and a second and pass, discuss, and take action to approve the final plat of Tract 13A and part of Tract 13. Okay. All right. Mr. Key?
Good evening. As I'm coming before you as the incoming president and interim president of the EDC, the item numbers that are before you, we're asking that you respectfully table item 4A, 4B, 4C. We ask that you table item 4G. We're seating a new board, and we have got issues that we need to bring before the board to look at it. So we would ask you to respectfully table those particular issues. We ask that you move forward with the remainder of the issues, 4D, 4E, and 4F. Any questions?
Anyone have any comments? We'll honor your request. It's the first reading of Resolution 2023-013, approving a renovation grant program and performance agreement by and between the Gun Barrel City Economic Development Corporation and Cheney's Tobacco Station. This is just the first reading, so we can't, and that'll be for $25,000, I believe.
Rita, if I may, we need a motion to table those items, please.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
I move that we table items 4A, 4B, 4C, and 4G.
Ernst, second.
We've got a motion and a second to table 4A, 4B, 4C, and 4G. Okay, vote from the left.
Ernst, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
He, yes.
Ross, yes.
Okay. Now can I go, Miss? Okay. All right. Let me do the first reading of resolution number R 2023-013, approving a renovation grant program and performance agreement by and between Gun Barrel City Economic Development Corporation and Cheney's Tobacco Station, Inc. And like I said, I think that's for $25,000. This is just the first reading. Okay. 4E, discuss and or take action to approve the proposed EDC lease agreement for a property known as 1720 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas. That's the EDC office and conference room. And this is, I think annually they review this. So they lease the office from the city.
Do we have the amount?
I think it's,
$750.
yeah, $750 a month. Do I have a motion?
I move we take action to approve the proposed EDC lease agreement for the property known as 1720 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City.
He, second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the proposed EDC lease agreement for the property known as 1720 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas, known as EDC office and conference room. A vote from the left.
Ernst, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
He, yes.
Foster, yes.
Discuss and or take action to approve a no-cost lease agreement as related to the property having a legal description of 8.101 acres, AB 794 GT Walter Survey, Mid-City property, Block B, lots 5, 6, and part of Lot 7.
Where is this located? Is this where they have their lawnmower races?
Yes, that's it. Mm-hmm. And that's just a deal the city and the EDC's worked out, as far as I know. Pardon?
City maintains it.
Oh, okay, the city maintains it. Okay.
I make a motion that we approve a no-cost lease agreement as related to the property having a legal description of 8.101 acres, AB 794 GT Walter Survey, Mid-Cities property, will be lots 5, 6, and in part of Lot 7.
Evans, seconds. So we've got a motion and a second to approve a no-cost lease agreement is related to the property having a legal description of 81.101 acres, AB 794 GT Walter Survey, Mid-Cities Park, Block B, lots 5, 6, part of Lot 7. Motion and a second. Vote from the left.
Ernst, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
He, yes.
Foster, yes.
Motion passes. Okay, we're skipping 4G. Okay, discuss and or take action to interview applicants for the EDC Board of Directors in open session. and make appointments.
Ms. Evans, if I might, the second candidate listed there, Daniel, requested his application be pulled from the agenda at this time.
Okay.
Sour. You didn't want to.
No. So is Linda Rankin here?
Please.
Yes, if you want to, I'm looking for your application. Here it is. Okay.
Is there any questions? I know I spoke last city council meeting, but I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. I do want to make it known that I have not been part of any of the disturbance that has been going on, and so please take my name away from that group. I would appreciate that. I do think that I can bring some wise and good skill sets to you if you will allow me to help you with some of your agreements in the EDC. I'm excellent at the financial part of the EDC's business, and having served on the EDC for 6 years, I can certainly help out because I already know the rules. So I'll be glad to abide by the bylaws. I like my fellow board members, and I think it would be a pleasure to serve.
Thank you, Linda.
I think that's a perfect place for you.
Thank you.
Anyone have any questions? Any more questions? I know you, Linda. I mean, I don't have to ask a lot of questions.
I move that we appoint Linda Rankin to the Board of Directors of EDC.
Burns, second.
We have a motion and a second to appoint Linda Rankin to the EDC Board of Directors. Motion from my left.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Yes.
Ross, yes.
Your own, Linda.
Thank you so much.
Discuss and or take action to interview applicant for Planning and Zoning Commission in open session and make appointments. Is Mr. Dye here, Robert Dye? Okay.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Would you like me to talk a little bit about myself?
Please.
Yeah. My name is Robert Dye. I'm a fairly new resident of Gun Barrel City, living here full-time 4 years now. I've owned property here for about 7 years. Recently retired as chief economist of Comerica Bank, and prior to that, working with PNC Bank. So I have a couple decades experience with major financial corporations in the U.S. I have not served on a local committee like this before. This would be a new venture for me, but I would like to bring some background and some personal expertise in economic development and regional planning and regional economics to the city if I can.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I move that we appoint Mr. Robert Dye to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Evans, second. We've got a motion and a second to appoint Mr. Dye to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Vote from the left.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Yes.
Ross, yes.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you for serving.
Welcome aboard.
Uh-huh. What time is it? 7? It's 7:34 p.m. We're going to convene into executive session pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 551.074 personnel matters. To deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline or dismissal of the city manager and the police chief. Okay. Yes.
Is it, the way this is written, there'll be no action taken coming out of the meeting?
No, not today.
Okay.
don't have an item to our
On the agenda.
agenda. Item is cut short one item to take any action on the dismissal or city manager or police chief, so we can't take action. So I just need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Key second.
It's 8. Oh, I
Aren't you
forgot,
glad y'all waited for that?
I forgot to.
Y'all didn't bring me a Dairy Queen, I mean, I need some sweet tea, something to keep me awake up here, or what?